Hi, welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. I'm your host, Brian Koval. Before we get started, make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. If you want to see me play your favorite deck or your spicy brew on the channel, I take donation deck lists. I'll do a deck tech, play a full Magic Online League, and help tune your list. If that sounds good, check out my contact info. It's in the video description below. Now let's go play some Magic.
Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Legacy, and this is the triumphant return of a fan favorite. This was the highest performing video I've ever released. This is TEFERI Vacation Fit. So this was originally a deck building challenge from subscriber, Patreon member Akia, and Akia wanted me to do the Lethal Vapors plus Teferi's Protection combo. If you're not familiar, how this works is Lethal Vapors has an activated ability that says 0, destroy lethal vapors. You skip your next turn, any player may activate this ability. So what you do is you spam activations of that, just holding priority, just activate it 100 times or whatever, and then you cast Teferi's Protection, which says until your next turn, your life total can't change, you gain protection from everything, all permanents you control phase out. So you skip your next 100 turns, then you go invisible for 100 turns, and your opponent can't do anything. They'll eventually just deck, because they're going to have to take 100 turns in a row. They don't have 100 cards in their deck, etc. I just picked 100 as just a random high number in this context. Like in real life, you could just say a billion. On Moto, you actually have to click, so pick a more reasonable number. So you just disappear from the earth. This is a commander combo and Akia wanted to see it in Legacy. And I brewed up a Nick Fit shell for it. The previous shell had Living Wish in it. The Overwhelming Splendor and Sandworm Convergence were in the sideboard for like post-board games, and the main deck was all in on Lethal Vapors. I had Hope of Garapur in the deck. And I learned a lot during that league. And what I learned is that on Magic Online, this combo sucks to pull off. Like, if your opponent, so the way this works, because both players can play this ability. If we're playing paper Magic, and I say I'll activate Lethal Vapors a billion times, my opponent can say me too, and then it's like nobody's taking any extra turns. They cancel each other out. And the way that stalemate is broken is that in the rules of Magic, if both players can do something an unlimited number of times that cancel each other out, the active player, that's the player whose turn it is, has to make a different choice first. So the way this would work in paper Magic is I pass the turn, and in your upkeep, I say, I'll skip my next billion turns, and then you do the same, and then eventually you will have to make a different choice because it's your turn, and I'll get to win, basically, and skip my next billion turns. On Magic Online, it's literally just who wants to click more, who wants it more, who has more time on their clock. Kind of miserable. So for that, I adopted Grand Abolisher. During your turn, opponents can't cast spells, activate abilities of artifacts, enchantments, or creatures. This is an enchantment, so if I have Grand Abolisher in play, not only do I know my spells are going to resolve, but they can't activate Lethal Vapors in response and steal it. So I've built in a little contingency there to lock it down. And that's basically all the upgrades that I feel like the deck really needed. The other one is I'm up to 4 Cavern of Souls. I played 1 in the first version, just for funsies, but human, 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 and that's all my creatures. Every creature in this deck is a human. So that's just a little extra bonus for because my creatures just all happen to be humans. The one thing I'm super worried about that didn't exist when I tuned this deck up last time is the Turbo Tibalt decks. Like the decks that can put Tibalt into play. Tibalt Cosmic Imposter, that's the back half of Valky God of Lies. They can put that thing into play turn 1 or turn 2 pretty reliably. Overwhelming Splendor does shut it down. Enchanted player can't activate abilities. Oh, nope, I lied. It specifically says that aren't mana or loyalty abilities. So Tibalt is the only thing they could still do. Never mind, that deck's going to kill us if we play against it. But I can't, I don't think I can tune this to beat a a 7-mana Planeswalker on turn 2. I'm just going to have to combo out from under it. So that's the one thing I'm worried about, but let's get into these games and see how it goes, see if we can do better than last time. All right, we're playing against some sort of Yorion deck. I'm going to keep this because it has Veteran Explorer and a way to sacrifice it, which is step 1 in this deck, like no matter where else this game goes. If I draw Lethal Vapors, I'm actually very close to the combo, because this makes a shitload of mana. It's really, I guess, I need to draw something, basically. I'm going to save this Veteran Explorer until I'm ready to pop off with it. Because right now, if I just play it and pop it, the 2 black mana for Phyrexian Tower doesn't go anywhere. I'm sure my opponent has basic lands in their deck. They've played one already. So I don't want to just ramp them for no reason. But I do need to stop drawing lands pretty quickly. Sylvan Library would be great here, just being able to load up. A row. Alright, maybe it won't matter if I ramp them because they're doing it already. Alright, how about Lethal Vapors? Ooh, Academy Rector is not bad though. Alright, so I'm gonna fetch for Veteran Explorer and play it, and then just run out the Phyrexian Tower. I'll fetch a non-basic. So I still have basics to search for. I'm using this now as bait because the Academy Rector is actually the important spell here. Alright, so I have a sack outlet if I want it. I wish I had Cabal Therapy, but I don't. Yeah, if they probably want to fire off removal if they have it on this Veteran Explorer and just force me to pop it, because I could pop it at will. And if they wait until my turn, I get the extra black mana also. I wonder if this... Oh, I'm playing against Combo Chan. This is Aloran. They're playing Aloran. I was about to say, I wonder if this is Combo Chan's Aloran deck, and yes, it is. This is literally Combo Chan. I've played against them 3 or 4 times on camera in the last couple weeks. So I could lose right now if they just... They have 4 mana. If they just tap out for Aloran, I could die. So let's hope I get to my turn, because I'm not sure that they could beat a Overwhelming Splendor. Alright, yep, definitely in the danger zone. I'm going to have to mulligan to discard now that I'm paying attention to who I'm playing against. Teferi Time Raveler. Okay, I don't care about that. Like if they bounce Veteran Explorer, I can just sack it. And then they don't get to draw a card either. Alright, sorcery game. Alright, Cavern of Souls, best draw in my deck. So I should probably fetch now, just for one less dead draw. I have lots of white mana available. I have tons of black mana too. So I'm gonna fetch for another Bayou. Alright, Phyrexian Tower, not really what I'm looking for. So I could Teferi's Protection right, or I can attack Teferi. Put some pressure on there. So if it sucks that Teferi's in play protecting my opponent from his own protection. Yeah, there's not a way to get Academy Rector into play and sack it this turn. Alright, so I can do my ramp thing. Yeah, I'm not gonna skip on the ramp thing, even though it's probably gonna benefit them more than me at this particular juncture. Alright, so I have lots of green, lots of black. I'm actually pretty set up on my colors all around, so this probably doesn't matter much. Oh wait, I drew a second tower. Could I have done this? No, I didn't. Wait, okay, so I think I might have fucked this up. Like the second tower, so if I had pre-combat sacked Veteran Explorer, searching for a white source, then play Academy Rector with black, black, green, white. Yeah. Okay, yep, I just fucked this up. Wow, Nickfit is hard. Who knew? And I believe I made my land drop playing that basic plains earlier. Yep. Managed to beef that one. Alright, I'll just protect myself for a turn. If they have a Lauren, it doesn't matter. Alright, I'm phased out. Don't look too closely at my lands. You'll get a headache. Yeah, if they assemble the Aloran combo, this basically doesn't matter though. Like they can combo off at instant speed. Uh-oh, there's a Lauren. Alright, so if they find a recruiter, we lose. They chose to shuffle. We'll take it. Good news. Alright, looking for Cavern of Souls off the top. Or they could just kill me in my upkeep. Alright, fine. Alright, I'm just gonna let them do this. The clock is probably gonna matter, especially if I do pop off my combo. It sucks they had the Aloran. I'm using the protection. Can't be blocked when it leaves the battlefield. Alright, so they probably already have the other one. Harpy. Alright, yeah, so I die 1 point faster than they do. When this leaves the battlefield... Oh, and this drains, it doesn't just kill. Alright, so... They had the Aloran. That draw was kind of speculative anyway, my keep, so I deserve that. Curse of Deathhold, very good against them. Trophies and Decay, I want all of that. Pretty sure I want City of Solitude as well. What is not so good? Pernicious Deed, doesn't really matter. Veil of Summer. Veil's actually pretty good. Maybe I don't want City. If I don't want City here, then I probably don't want City in the deck. So I'm just... That's probably a card that can be cut in general. But Veil of Summer... It does Curse of Deathhold. Yeah, that bricks Cavern Harpy, but so does Overwhelming Splendor. But Curse of Deathhold is actually castable. Teferi can bounce it, though. Teferi can also bounce Splendor, so that doesn't really matter. Alright, maybe one less trophy. I could also shift into the Ceratops plan. Like, I'm on the play, get in with my Ceratopses, but they do have Swords to Plowshares in their deck. We've seen it. I want all my disruption. Maybe I want to go a little thinner on the main combo now that I know what I'm up against. And Sandworm Convergence, I don't think matters. Or how do I win this game? So I can Splendor them, and then that should buy time until I'm able to pull off my combo. Is that my plan? Or beat down with Grand Abolisher? I think I need Convergence in the deck. Maybe one less library. Wait, why can't I submit this deck? Oh, did I submit a 61 card deck at the beginning? I guess I did. Whoops. So there should be one less card in this main deck, but that's okay. We're memeing anyway. Go on Sylvan Libraries at the max. So Teferi's Protection plus Grand Abolisher is a combo though. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna keep this. It doesn't have a sack outlet, but it does have pretty high ceiling here. Cavern on Human. So let's put them to the Swords to Plowshares test immediately. If they do have Plow, then I just play Grand Abolisher. If I draw a green source, I can Sylvan Library instead. Veteran Explorer is super dangerous against Aloran though. They have so many basics and they just win the game at 4 mana. Sack Outlet? No love. Alright, let's shut down their interaction on my turn. If they have Force of Will, oh, they can't even counter this, never mind. I was gonna say if they have Force, now's the time because it's not gonna get better. But, surprise. Doesn't matter. And if they have an Ice Fang Coatl, they have to do it now. Nice. So I'm definitely going to attack with Veteran Explorer. Oh, JK. Can I win here? I would need a second sacrifice outlet. Actually, if I attack with the Explorer and it connect and they block, I just win instead. So I'll get in for my 1 point of damage. Yeah, they know better than to block. I think. Maybe. We'll see. Yeah, they knew better. Okay, so if I Phyrexian Tower and get green, I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. I can Thoughtseize, Sylvan Library. I can Thoughtseize, then decide if I want a Library Abolisher or Rector. Just hope they don't have 2 Allurans in their hand. Alright, so that's my black. I want green for library. I have white already, and I have the cavern. And Lethal Vapors cost double black, but Phyrexian Tower does that. So I think I just want double green. Yeah, so I'm gonna Thoughtseize them, play Sylvan Library. Just don't have 2 Allurans in your hand, please. God damn it. They had 2 Allurans in their hand. I had 1 request. Alright, so they have Abrupt Decay, but they can't decay my Abolisher, and that Grand Abolisher was insane, though. Alright, so I'm going to strip the Leovold, because I can't take the Allurans anyway. And then I get Sylvan Library. They'll probably decay that, unless they draw a Recruiter. I'm going to play a backup Abolisher. Yeah, I want them to have to decay Sylvan Library, basically. If they drew Recruiter off the top right now, though, we're just dead. Okay, cool. They decayed. That means we're going to survive the turn. I can get Overwhelming Splendor that bricks these Allurans, and it lets me attack with my Abolishers, and they're going to die pretty quick. All right, did they draw something that matters? Like, what are they doing with this 2 mana? Deciding if they're attacking, I guess. All right, I didn't think so. All right. Uncounterable Academy Rector. Unless they have Stifle in their deck, this should... Oh, it doesn't matter, I have Grand Abolisher. I would like to use this ability, yes, thank you. Alright, I'm gonna get Splendor. I think Splendor is better than Death's Hold. Attach the Aura. Now I can beat down in 4-point chunks. And their hand is completely blank. Because they have 1 mystery card, but the 3 forces don't do anything because of Abolisher, and the 2 Allurans don't do anything because of Splendor. Alright, that was sweet. That's how the deck's supposed to work. We still didn't combo, but in the combo matchups, we have to lock it down first. Like, we don't get the luxury, unfortunately, of playing around with our Teferi's protection. Alright, so Assassin's Trophy could come in here. I'm not sure that I need or really want it to. I could cut another Vapors, because we're just kind of off that plan. I feel kind of guilty about doing that, because I don't want this Teferi Vacation League to just be me boarding out the Teferi combo and playing this Rector Fit deck and just pretending that's not there, but at the same time, I do want to be able to win some matches, and I think it's correct that Lethal Vapors is not the best card in here. I can search for Vapors if I need to. I've left in more vacations. Like if I'm in a position where I can combo, I will. But I do want to set myself up for the best chance of actually winning the game. I think Mindbreak Trap isn't the worst here. Is it better than... And we've seen Leovold out of their deck. And discard is strong. Mindbreak Trap is one of our only ways to interact with them on a combo turn. Is it better than Veil? But they've shown me a ton of forces. They have wills and negations. They also showed me Teferi. Mindbreak Trap is definitely worth having. Oh, sorry, combo. I'm gonna feel bad about that, but I'm still gonna do it. Okay, so I believe I have presented my best deck for this matchup, which I think is reasonable to do, even if it shaves pretty low on the actual combo. All right, I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna Cabal Therapy into Sylvan Library, and then I'm gonna leave that Academy or that Therapy hanging out to eventually sack this Rector. I believe I have to get Scrubland with this. Alright, they just let that resolve like nothing. So I can name Force of Will, which is the most likely answer they have to Sylvan Library. Or I could name Brainstorm, which is normally a pretty safe thing to do in the blind against blue decks, or I could name Abrupt Decay, which is also a card that they have. I think they would have played Astrolabe on turn 1 if they had it. I think I should name Force or Abrupt Decay. Just have to figure out which one it is. I'm going to name Decay because there's a chance they boarded out some number of forces. 2 Ice Fang Coatls. Okay, so they are set up to combo. They just need the Aloran. Yeah, so 2 Coatls, Recruiter of the Guard, and Niambi, its Steam Speaker, which is part of their Aloran combo. None of those cards answer Sylvan Library, though, which was the point. So they're going to Coatl in response to try to draw the Force, I think is what's going on here. Coatl. All right. They didn't find the Force. They could have found Abrupt Decay. But good chance I'm going to draw a bunch of cards here. I mean, Leovold also shuts this down. We're also just dead if they have Aloran next turn, unless we find some disruption right now. Right, I don't think they have any 1-mana answers to Sylvan Library, and they just chose to shuffle with Ponder. Relic. Okay, I mean, that does hurt, actually, because Academy Rector, you have to exile it when it hits the graveyard to get the ability. It's not when it dies. All right, I'm going to put this on top. I'm actually just going to put them both on top because I don't need more lands. That was actually like the worst possible. So if they found an Aloran off of all their cantripping, I'm about to lose. If they tap out off of Relic of Progenitus, like if they tap out this turn without coming up with an Aloran, okay, that Ponder means they're not Aloraning this turn. I don't think they can ramp mana like that. Ouch. Pass the turn without a land. Oh, baby. I guess they haven't passed the turn yet. If they don't have a land drop, though, I'm going to get to pop off. Damn. Play a Ponder. Ugh, that sucks. All right, I'll get Bayou. Veil of Summer. Do you help me? I'm going to play my Cavern on Human. So I can play the Rector. I guess this is still my best play. Like, my options are run out Lethal Vapors, but then if they draw a Aloran, they can just cast it and pay 0, skip their next turn, but there won't be a next turn because they just win. All right, so I'm going to play the Rector. I do have 2 of them, so I'm going to have to get through this Relic eventually. So now do they want to Relic my Therapy so I can't sack, or do they want to leave Rector in play where I might have another way to sack it? Because I do have 2 things going on in the graveyard right now. All right, so I'll at least get a Cabal Therapy out of this version. So they should pop Relic right now. Yep, okay, so that's done. But I get my Cabal Therapy at least. I'm going to name Recruiter of the Guard, because I know that they have that, and that's their best card with Aloran. All right, Vendilion Click, Niambi, Ice Fang Coatl. All right, glad I didn't name Aloran in the blind. Oh, right, I just took the Recruiter. I was like, why are there so many cards? This doesn't make sense. All right, well, we are not dead to Aloran at this point. If they want to click me in my draw step, I have Veil of Summer. And Curse of Death's Hold, we're creeping up to the point where it's just gonna Plague Win them. Did you top deck Aloran? Jesus. All right, so now they can Coatl to draw a card, Niambi to draw another card, and then we're just flying by the seat of our ass here. They can also Vendilion Click themselves to see another card. And I definitely took the right card with my Cabal Therapy, but if they're going to draw like this, what can you do? Discard a legendary card, draw 2 cards. So they could save the Vendilion Click to draw 2 cards next turn. Alright, they're just clicking. Targeting themselves. Alright, and they passed the turn. So I need to draw a land. Fuck. Okay, so I can therapy them. What would I even name? But getting therapy in the graveyard for Rector is at least a start. And I'm still holding up the Veil. So I'll probably name Force of Will this time. Like, they would have played any creatures they had. Alright, we got a Force of Will out of them. The hand is Swords to Plowshares right now. The Force is to clear the way for the Curse of Death's Hold. This is actually really fucking close. I'm actually kind of excited. They're just sweating a draw step here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They can attack for 7. Alright, what do you got? Probably putting Yorion in hand. Didn't play any spells for me to Veil of Summer. Come on, deck. Land. Drew a land. Let's hope they didn't find a Force of Will. So I can Rector, but I think that Curse of Death's Hold is actually better than Overwhelming Splendor in this spot. Alright, I have double black. I have double green. I don't have double white. Well, please work. We know 2 of their cards don't matter. If they drew a Force, they can pitch their Yorion to it. But this is what I got. God damn it! Alright. Fucking whatever. Okay, so I'm gonna go to 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna go to 1. I can still Sandworm Convergence next turn. And then creatures with flying can't attack me. Oh, what's it like? They ripped Aloran the turn after I cleared their hand. Okay, that actually kills me. Does protection buy me any time? So I can Rector, Therapy them, get Sandworm Convergence, but now they have 2 creatures on the ground. Yeah, they just... God, this is miserable. Yeah, so they just perfectly threaded the needle. Didn't really do anything particularly interesting. They just drew Aloran the turn after I checked their hand, then drew Forced to Will the turn after I checked their hand, and then found a creature with power that doesn't have flying. Yeah, this Rector, pretty close to getting it here, actually. Just trying to think if there's anything I can do. I can get Sandworm Convergence, but that makes a 5/5 and they have 2 attackers. And that's all I got. Okay. So you can see how that one would have gone my way in most worlds, actually. But what are you going to do? Next round. All right, I've kept on the play with this hand. I'm not going to play Veteran Explorer on turn 1 because I don't want it to get Swords to Plowshare. I want to save it for when I have the sack outlet. Generally, the line is you therapy them on turn 1, then turn 2 play your Explorer and flashback therapy all at once. But obviously I didn't have a black source. Okay, looks like they are Maverick of some variety. Okay, now I can do the thing that I wanted to do, which was therapy them. Though, if I play the Veteran Explorer, Phyrexian Tower makes 2 4 mana. Yeah, that doesn't really change anything. So I'm gonna fetch a scrub land here and Cabal therapy them. So if they're Maverick, I probably want to name Knight of the Reliquary. All right, got one. And there's 2 Plague Engineer, 2 Green Sun Zenith. All right, cool. So I'm going to strip their Zeniths. And they're going to end up with 2 Plague Engineers, and tons of mana, but like, what the fuck ever. All right, so have double green. I need double black if I want to get Lethal Vapors on, so I'll get a black and a white here. And I should be able to Rector them pretty smoothly next turn. They don't really play cards that could mess that up. Green Sun's Zenith. Yeah, keeping the old triple Green Sun Zenith hand against the Cabal Therapy deck. Whoops. Alright, 2 Plague Engineers and a Windswept Teeth in the hand. Ship it. Alright, did they pay off something cool? Did they draw a banger? Did they draw the 4th Green Sun Zenith? I guess it's technically not the 4th because the first one shuffled back in, but let's see what the payoff was. Scavenging Ooze is the card that I don't want them to have drawn. Alright, looks like we dodged the Scavenging Ooze. I don't think this deck can beat Overwhelming Splendor. I don't think it can beat Sandworm Convergence either, honestly. They don't play Daze, so I can slow roll my sack outlet here. I'm actually going to get Convergence, because I think they're less likely to beat that than Splendor. Like, Splendor at least leaves them with 1/1s to play around with, but just this parade of 5/5s And Splendor has built-in protection from like Night of Autumn because the ETB triggers don't happen when you have Splendor. But I think these 5/5s, when I know their hand is already empty. If they had a full grip, I think I would get Splendor. Alright, well, Merit Lage can't attack me, so I don't have to worry about that. Naming Worm. Oh, they can get my worms down to 3/3s. Another veteran. Cool. Alright. You can start trading off with Plague Engineers, or they can start taking 4. I'm not going to play Lethal Vapors because it would kill my worms as they arrive. Though if I draw protection, I can combo. Like I have plenty of mana and I have the Vapors in hand. Oh, you have a mana human of your own. Alright, are they going to name human or continue shrinking my worms? Alright, 3/3 worms. 3/3 is still bigger than anything they've presented though. Oh wow, I can cast this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, jeez. Okie dokie. So they probably have some more basics they can get to. Yeah, Maverick is certainly known for having basic lands in their deck. Bang. Now my worms are 5/5s again. All their shit has no abilities. Yeah. Okay. Went way over the top of the Fairgreen deck, which is what we should do as a Nickfit deck. I would certainly hope. Right, Pernicious Deed, pretty good here. Grand Abolisher only matters if I'm Lethal Vapor comboing. I will go down to 1 deed as something I can tutor for, but maybe that's just silly. Like, does that actually matter? I don't know that I need Thought Seizes in this matchup. Oh, Veil of Summer definitely goes before anything. So Thoughtseize might be coming back. Pernicious Deed comes back, and I'll bring back one of the Thoughtseizes, I guess. Yeah, that's an easy cut. Okay. Yeah, we should just be able to over-the-top dumpster a deck like Maverick. I would like to execute the combo in this matchup when the coast is clear and they can do nothing about it ever. Wouldn't it be crazy if there was a card that pulled things back from phasing? Like, all cards phase in. Like 1 and a white, all cards phase in to blow up my combo. They haven't invented that hate bear yet. Or permanents can't phase out. I don't know. It seems super niche. I don't think they would print a card like that. I don't know why they ever would. But phasing did come back in M21. There is a card printed in the year of our Lord 2020 with phasing on it. They say 2020 was a tough year for everyone, and the fact that phasing returned to Magic the Gathering is probably a sign of that. I probably want Curse of Death's Hold in the deck, actually. That's better than Thoughtseize. Oh, did I get it? Or did I submit a 62 card deck? They submitted their deck, yeah, before I could submit mine. Okay, that's fine. This hand ramps like a Mamma Jamma. Oh shit. Good thing I have Leyline of the Void. Or good thing I have Assassin's Trophy for Leyline of the Void. Someday I'll know how to talk. but today is not that day. And the cool thing about Assassin's Trophy and Nickfit is that my plan is to give them all their lands anyway, so it barely has a drawback. Though if they kept a shitty hand because it had Leyline in it, and I'm about to give them a bunch of lands, that might backfire. Okay, if they're hitting land drops anyway, then I don't feel bad about it. Mother. Alright, she cannot protect Leyline. Curse of Deathhold should definitely be in the deck over Thoughtseize, by the way. That was just a last minute. Didn't catch it in time. Alright, I guess they could have Veil of Summer to mess this up. Oh, Wasteland. Who do you think you are with the Wastelands? Alright, they can't cast a second Lightline here. Alright, Zenith for 2. Are they going to get the backup Scavenging Ooze? Gadok Teague. Okay. That's a reasonable card to get. Alright, gonna make my move. So I might as well try to overload the Wastelands, I think, because I'm about to have a bunch of basics jump into play. They have one card left. What card would still be left in their hand right now that they didn't play? Probably a land or like some reactive spell. I'll name Swords to Plowshares. I'm gonna get it either way, it doesn't matter. This is just a matter of pride. Can I blind name the card? Yep, got it. Easy money. Oh, I tapped wrong though. I'm just over here flexing that I know how to name cards with Cabal Therapy, and it just didn't matter. All right, so I can play the... I think I'm just going to run out Cavern on Human, but not actually play a card. Because they're going to waste me, they're going to draw a card. Now I have 2 ways to cast Veteran Explorer next turn. Though I don't know what card they would draw but not cast, unless it's like Swords to Plowshares. Again. Alright, yeah, they're just playing cards now. So I need a Rector. Alright, I'll play my Tower and my Explorer. Like, I can chump an attack with Explorer. That's fine. I can't cast Lethal Vapors right now. This Gadok Teague showing up. Though they are Hellbent, so if I draw Rector, I get to do what I want. Until they find some graveyard hate. Alright, still Hellbent. Rector. Protection. Alright, I can cast that card under Teferi. Or under Gadok Teague. So now I'm an Abrupt Decay away from winning the game. And if they try to waste me or do something untoward, I can Protection. But I'm okay playing against this 13 turn clock with Birds of Paradise. Oh, there's Rector. So now I can 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, they do have a card in their hand. I'm going to therapy them naming Surgical Extraction. What card? Like, it's either Swords to Plowshares or Surgical Extraction. Those are the only things that make any sense. Very macabre. Though I guess I just lose if it's very macabre because I'm not naming that with Cabal Therapy. Hopefully it's just a land and they're trying to bait the therapy. Green Sun Zenith. Oh, because Gaddock Teague, they can't play it. Gotcha. That makes sense. All right. 1, 2. Can I combo right now? No, because Gaddock Teague's in play. I have to get Overwhelming Splendor, but then they can Zenith, but that doesn't matter. Okay. White, 2, 3, 4. So I should do this now while I know it's going to work. Yes. So do I want Splendor or do I want Convergence? I think I want Splendor. Because this one sets up my Vapors combo for next turn. So let's do that. All right. I am committing to the Vapors combo, though I do think Sandworm Convergence would win this game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They can attack for 5. They can Zenith for another 1/1. They don't get any ETB triggers. All right, we're set up. And they can't activate Vapors themselves because I have Splendor. Can't activate abilities that aren't mana abilities or loyalty abilities. Check. All right, please don't have a discard spell. That's all I can ask. Okay, it's too late for that. Good thing I turned off their Gaddock Teague, though. Yeah, they can just search for literally anything because every creature is the same. All right, we did it. It's combo time. All right, draw. I need another black mana. There should be another Bayou in this deck. Okay, good. That would have been the worst way to go. All right, Lethal Vapors. Hold priority. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 100. Okay, I've activated this 100 times. And then I'm going to go into protection and F6. So Maverick is a deck that could beat this combo in real life because they have Green Sun Zenith, which means they don't deck. So at some point in a real life game, this opponent could say, I will put all of my creatures into play, and like you can shortcut an infinite loop, but they basically draw their deck, put their 4 Green Sun Zeniths back into their deck, and then just say, like, I have lethal on board when you finally come out of this, whenever that does happen. And I think they would actually win the game if this was real life. But because it's Magic Online, they have to play through 100 turns on the clock. So I'm actually advantaged because it's Moto this time. All right, so now I just F6 forever. Good luck. Oh, that's funny. My Splendor phased out. All right, let's let them attack a few times until they realize what's going on. In ways I could still lose this game in Magic the Gathering, not that I think that their deck contains any of them, but like an extort card, like something that drains life without targeting, like the extort mechanic from Guild Pact. Like whenever you play a spell, you can pay black or white, and each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Let's see how long they want to click for. I can do this all day. I guess F8 works here. I don't even have to F6. This Hex Drinker is going to be so big. This is going to be the world record for most level counters on a Hex Drinker. I hope they just put it up to like 1,000. Keep going. Oh, they stopped at 8. No style. Unfortunately, protection from everything doesn't override my protection from everything. Yeah, they're going to have to like Swords to Plowshares their own Gaddock Teague. Okay, so that would work in real life. They would eventually be able to plow their own Gaddock Teague and then start looping Zeniths until they have lethal in play. So Maverick, actually tough matchup for Nick Fit Teferi Vacation. Who knew? No one's ever said that sentence before. Though I bet Dukes on Twitch has this covered on his website, thegreensonzenith.com. Yeah, my opponent just realized what's going on. They said, so this is it? I do feel a little bit bad because like I said, in paper Magic, they would win this game pretty easily actually. But we're not playing paper Magic. Magic Online is a slightly different game. Like there are functional rules differences to Magic Online from paper Magic the Gathering, and we're in one of them right now. And unfortunately, I'm going to take it where I can get it. All right, so they got the Caracas to bounce the Teague. So now they can start Zenithing and shuffling. So they're not going to deck, but they can... Oh shit, does that kill me? Wait, does this work? Okay, good. Why doesn't this work? Your life total can't change. Okay. Whew. All right. So if I just had protection from everything, Questing Beast would kill me, but Fairy's protection specifically says your life total can't change, which is on top of the protection from everything. So that was scary. Who knew Maverick was the deck I'd have to worry about most? Right, round 3, I'm keeping this hand on the play. It doesn't come out of the gates particularly quick, but it has a rock solid plan going long. The Cavern and the Sack Outlet both in hand with Rector. Also, I noticed between rounds, the thing I said about Extort is wrong for the same reason that Questing Beast can't kill me. Your life total can't change. So, Teferi's protection, I'm having a hard time figuring out what could actually kill me when I'm under the combo. I mean, the answer is my opponent can still win the game. So if they have like Thassa's Oracle, which we're playing against a polluted Delta deck, could be possible here. But Thassa's Oracle is a card that can still kill me, like something that says you win the game rather than your opponent loses the game or all the normal win conditions. Those still apply. All right, so I'm kind of hoping I draw another land here that's not one of these two lands, because having either of these wasted would kind of suck. So we are playing against trusty old Rug Delver. All right, Thoughtseize, I don't mind at all. It is kind of lame. I would have to fetch a non-basic. Yeah, I have to fetch the Bayou here, I guess, if I want to cast Thoughtseize. Just hope they don't have a Wasteland. All right, no Wasteland yet. All right, I don't care about Daze or Force of Will. Dreadhorde Arcanist is kind of a beast, but I think Oko is the biggest problem. Oko is the card that keeps me from just running out my Academy Rector next turn. Like they probably don't have main deck Graveyard Hate, so if I just cast Academy Rector, put it into play, that can chump for a turn. Though I guess that will all depend on if I draw a land this turn or not. Like if I draw a land this turn and I'm guaranteed Rector plus pop on the same turn, that might be worth saving up for. Though I do have a backup Rector, so running the 1 out there doesn't seem that bad. I could also just hold up Teferi's protection for a turn. But they've shown me the Force of Will. Oh, they did have Wasteland. Okay. That sucks. So now I need the land. Okay. Human. For not being the card I wanted, this isn't that bad. So Wasteland is still a beating. Delver's still getting in. Though now at least these forces and dazes are all the way dead instead of just basically dead. Oh, they drew Oko. Cool. Does that even matter right now? I don't think it does. Come on, Veteran Explorer. Shit. So I can attack Oko, go take a vacation, and then see what happens. Ugh. This is turning out to be shitty. Fucking Oko. Or fucking Wasteland. Fucking Rug Delver is basically what I'm trying to say here. I guess I could also sack this. No, I want to go into Teferi protection. I just can't afford to take another turn of losing life or really getting wasted is the problem here. And I'm casting this now, so I know it's going to resolve. I'm not going to execute the combo when I'm this far behind. So I gotta work up to that. How far off was I from the combo? Black, black, 1, 2. Yeah, it was 3 whole mana plus dealing with this Force of Will away from the combo. Yeah, I think Veteran Explorer is one of my best draws. Because I can explore through Cavern, not that it matters with Arbiter, but or Abolisher. Abolisher, yeah. I can explore through Cavern, sack it, get 4 mana immediately. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Hey, there it is. So green. Then what can I do now? I can sack this Explorer now, play this Rector. Then they'll have to Elk my Rector just so I don't pop it off. And then I'll have the second Rector with the mana to do it all next turn through Cavern. All right, Forest and Swamp probably. Just get all my colors. All right, they don't have basics. I don't have to worry about that. I could also just Pernicious Deed right now, but that seems less good than the line I described. Okay, so they have to Elk Rector if they want to attack this turn. I guess they could trade for Rector, but that's the same thing. It's actually much worse than Elking it for them. Better for me. The bad news is I'm not even convinced that popping Rector wins this game. If I draw Teferi's protection, maybe it does. No, they're gonna have to Elk. So 1, 2, 3, 4, black, black. Yeah, I might just need to Pernicious Deed next turn, but Pernicious Deed doesn't destroy Planeswalkers because it's from a time before Planeswalkers existed. Back then, Artifact, Creature, and Enchantment were all the permanents, all the non-land permanents. So this Oko continues to hang out. They don't really want to Elk my Rector, because then I can eat Dreadhorde Arcanist, but they can't not Elk it either. So this is pretty interesting. I guess if they play Stifle, they can just attack and do what they want. That is one card that can change the math significantly. Interesting. That's so weird. Okay. So they want to let me have Rector. Oh, they're wasting my sack outlet. That makes sense. Okay. All right, I get it. Let's just draw another one. Yeah. All right. So Cabal Therapy. Guess I'll name the Force of Will that I know is in their hand. Or they just brainstorm, so I don't know it's there. In fact, it's probably not. But Cabal Therapy doesn't need to resolve here, is the good news. Force, Pitching Force. Okay. You got it. All right, so I am activating this. Pretty sure Overwhelming Splendor is still just the get. But my life total is really low, and Oko embarrasses that pretty hard. Maybe it is Sandworm Conversions. That shuts down the Delvers and buys me the most time, I think. Yeah, I'll get Convergence. Alright, what's your last card? It's not Stifle, we know that. Bolt is one of the ways they still lose this game. Alright, it's Brainstorm. Okay. And we know their top card is Daze. Alright, I don't have mana to cast Pernicious Deed, though I think that if I get this deed to resolve next turn, I'm in good shape. Yeah, so now they have the choice of do they even reveal and flip the Delver or not? And the answer is probably no, unless it's Lightning Bolt. So Bolt puts me to 6 with the Dreadhorde Arcanist, but if they make that attack, they lose these two creatures. They probably elk this. Oh, okay. They didn't even put the Daze on top of their deck for the Delver that they could have done. Interesting. Okay. Do I lose to Lightning Bolt? I block. I go to 1 if they have Lightning Bolt. I lose if they found 2 of them. But this Pernicious Deed can do a bunch of work. Next turn. Does it even do anything? Like the things I need to kill, I guess it does kill out any number of food elks and the Delvers. Alright. Ooh. They scooped it up. Sandworm Convergence, too good. I think there was a lot more game there than they give it credit for, but they just saw their cards. If they're Brainstorm locked in the situation, maybe it's actually no good. I get a 5/5 every turn versus their 3/3 every other. So, okay. I'll take it. So I can pivot onto my Shifting Ceratopses here, though executing the combo against Rug Delver is pretty definitive. They don't really have anything they can do about that. But at the same time, Rug Delver is pretty good at making me not do that. So, like, Death's Hold plus Splendor is a lock together. Though, I think that with the way layers work, if they elk a food after I Splendor, it's still a 3/3. This still applies, so it would be a 2/2 if I have both, but yeah, Magic is hard. Oko's fucked up. So I think I want to slim down on the combo a little bit. I still want access to it. Veil of Summer is pretty good. I don't know if I need all 3 of them. Don't think I want Thoughtseize either. Therapy being a sack outlet means that you basically always have to keep it in. Oh, these Ceratopses are so tempting. I don't really have removal. Or I'm boarding in removal, so I do still have some removal. You know what? Let's do it. I'm in a Ceratops state of mind right now. Why have this dope sideboard juke if you're not going to use it? I actually like Teferi's Protection a lot in the matchup, just as a magic card you can cast. I think that turn 3 protection may have won me that game, because I didn't take 6 damage on that turn that I did that, and then I was at 8 later, well out of bolt range. All right, here we are. The squad has assembled. So now the trick here is Verdant Catacombs is my 4th mana for Ceratops and the second blue or the second green. Phyrexian Tower is my sack outlet if I draw anything from the other half of the deck. All right, I'm gonna bottom the Oh, I could just bottom Forest, I guess. Then I still have black, and my Grand Abolisher can resolve. Like, I want the Cavern. No, I can't bottom Forest. All right, I'm gonna ship Phyrexian Tower, though. I think Verdant Catacombs is also a fine choice there. Yeah, I don't feel bad keeping the hand that this hand casts all the spells that I currently have. All right, immediately feel bad for not bottoming Verdant Catacombs, but what are you gonna do? All right, they missed. Step 1 is down. Really hope they don't play Stifle because I did not play around it. Abolisher will be pretty good at getting Lightning Bolt out of their hand, and Lightning Bolt, like Double Bolt, is really their only answer to shifting Ceratops or playing a bigger creature. Like if they have Tarmogoyf in their deck, which isn't a given necessarily. All right, I'm gonna fetch right now. Green sources. I think I want. It's either Bayou or no. It's either Savannah or Scrubland. Like I need to get a white land here. I'm gonna get Savannah because getting triple green for shifting Ceratops is actually even better. Human. Hope your hand's full of instants. So Dover's gonna flip. They top that Preordain. Like they know what their top card is. Submerge. Womp. Submerge does not help against shifting Ceratops though. They also can't cast it as an instant right now, which is super nice. Submerge actually doesn't help a lot against my deck in general, except specifically Grand Abolisher. All right, they had the bolt. That's one less bolt that's going for my head. I'll take it. All right, Abrupt Decay would be a great draw. Phyrexian Tower. Having no play against the Flip Delver is not where I want to be. Wasteland would be devastating here. Hopefully they just have a handful of counter magic though. Reactive spells. Against my dinosaur that has no respect at all. Alright, protection. Never sad to see those. Daze this. Submerge this. Oko this. They're looking at their 5 cards in hand, realizing they're dead. And by dead, I mean still winning this race. I can't give it haste, I don't have enough mana. And I don't think waiting a turn so it could have haste makes sense. Like if I want them to be worrying about this card, and then my top deck card is what actually kills them. The bad news is, if they have this hyper reactive hand, this Teferi's Protection is probably not going to work. Shifting Ceratops can get reach, right? Reach, trample, or haste. All right. I mean, maybe playing D is the right play here. I'm actually gonna believe that. Yeah, I think removing this Delver is more important than basically anything else right now. Does not have vigilance, unfortunately. Reach, trample, haste. Boo. I could force some sort of interaction too. Like if I block with Shifting Ceratops and they have Lightning Bolt, I could Teferi's Protection and see if they can get another counter spell. And then even if I lose the fight, we still just traded Shifting Ceratops for Delver and Lightning Bolt. Please don't realize that as reach. All right. They figured it out. They figured out that I didn't attack with my 5-power creature for a reason. So I'll play another Cavern on human. Well, I'm not even sure if I really want it. I don't know if that was the right land to play. I probably should have played one of my fetch lands. Because now if they draw Wasteland, they know that there's no reason to go after the Cavern. Yeah, their hand is just full of reactive juice. Probably Surgical Extraction is involved. Lethal, oh, I have the combo. Let's see, so I can get a black source here. I'll put Lethal Vapors into play. If they want to destroy it and give me an extra turn, I'm cool. We got a reader. Please just Force of Will this. The bad news is they can just destroy this in my end step, and I'm not going to go for protection. Like, there's no way where I can know that protection resolves before I commit to activating Vapors. This Grand Abolisher was my plan for that, and it's in the graveyard. But if they do just destroy it in my end step, it'll just be my turn again. I could attack. What does that do? That punishes them if they give me another turn. Oh, whatever. Yeah, if they want to destroy it in my end step and it's just a cantrip, I'll take it. Alright, and if they want to play a game where Vapors is in play, I'll play that game too, because now I just win if I draw a Grand Abolisher at any point. If this resolves, I can start attacking. Alright, what's the difference between 7 and 8 life? Not much. I'll get a basic, so I have more green available. I suspect they'll want to fight over this, though. Because this lets me attack with impunity. These 7 cards in hand are so scary, though. It's pretty obvious they're all spells. Alright, Force of Will. We take those. They pitched the Submerge. Gave up on that one. I don't blame you. Yeah, so Veil of Summer is an insane draw. Grand Abolisher is the best draw. Grand Abolisher, I just hard lock the combo. Top bottom to that Preordain. I suspect this Preordain, the card they topped, is the Ponder because they spent several turns doing nothing, which makes me think that they didn't have this Ponder before. Yeah, I did board out one of my Veils, so I have 2 more Veils and 2 Abolishers that play here. Another Ceratops lets me start attacking with the first one. Hey, speak of the devil. So I could put them on a 2-turn clock, but then I lose to Lightning Bolt. No, I don't. I lose to Double Bolt plus Counterspell backup because I also have Teferi's Protection. Yeah, maybe I'll just put them on a 2-turn clock here. Oh, fuck. JK. I'm so fucking smart. Got excited. All right. Is what it is. This doesn't regenerate, does it? Nope. Missed my chance. Wow, that card would be so fucked up if I could regenerate it and just play it into my own Lethal Vapors. Unfortunately, I did just remind them that I have Lethal Vapors in play. Like, in case they forgot. Now they know for sure that it's true. All right, Oko. That will eventually be a problem. But not just yet. All right, deck. Give me the Grand Abolisher or the Veil of Summer, please. There it is. Okay, so the way this works is I respond, like, Abolisher is going to come into play, Vapors will trigger. In response, I'll activate Vapors a bunch of times. All right, so we win. My opponent's over there like, this idiot making the same mistake twice. All right, so now in response to this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 60. All right, so let one of these resolve. Clear out the lethal vapors, and then we go into witness protection. And that's the game. All right, now we just F8 and enjoy the ride. See how long it takes this opponent to figure out they've lost. Let's go make some food. They're also making food. I'll go eat lunch while they attack me a few times, realize this isn't going to work. I can feel the gears turning in their head. They're going to have so many creatures in play, so much power, and it's just not going to matter. Grand Abolisher was the technology this deck was missing the whole time, it turns out. Oh, they're really going for it here. It's turn 4 since I comboed, and they're just continuing to add to the board. They don't believe me that I would have clicked 60 times. I wonder how much of this has to do with the Magic Online UI, because once a certain number of triggers go on the stack, you can't really see that more have been added. Like, there's no additional animation. So maybe they think I only did it like 12 times. I don't know why they would think that. Why would they would think so little of me? All right, Clothis. Good thing my life total can't change. I now know that for sure. Or Clothis would have scared me last round before I fully read my card. Guess it's fine to keep me honest here. Like, make sure I actually did click the requisite number of times. Well, team, I comboed on turn 10. It's currently turn 43. This opponent has 3 cards left in their deck. They have taken it to the mat, kept me honest, but it turns out I wasn't lying. Kudos to you, opponent, for digging in. This went all the way to the end. GG's. Next round, that was dope. All right, well, this hand has double Veteran Explorer and Sylvan Library, but I'm on the play. Sandworm Convergence is also a blank. Like, I don't really have a way to get it back into my deck. I'd have to cast it. So this is unfortunately a mulligan. So close, though. This is a keeper. We got Sylvan Library. I'm in. So I think I want to ship the basic swamp. Yeah, lands are the most plentiful resource in my deck, as is true of most Magic the Gathering decks. And Yeah, I'm gonna keep the the B side of my A plus B combo here. And depending on what my opponent does, so I can jam Sylvan Library, or I can just Thoughtseize them. Let's hope they don't have Stifle. Alright, they didn't have Stifle. Alright, I'm already super exposed to Wasteland, so I might as well lean in. Yeah, so I'm going to clear the way for this library. I think this is going to end up being more important than jamming it on turn 2. Alright, so brainstorming in response to Thoughtseize. I'm not sure what that means. It could mean they're a combo deck, or that they just need this Brainstorm. Like they might have kept a one-lander with Brainstorm, and they're just Delver, but they need to draw cards while they can. Regardless, Thoughtseize forcing a Brainstorm here in the spot where they can't shuffle is a good one. What's this pause? Are they going to force this? So I have Veil of Summer. Like if they force a will this Thoughtseize, I could just take my 2-for-1, or I could go for the absolute blowout. Oh wow, they forced pitching Daze. Please don't have another Daze. If they have a second Daze, they like win this counter war, but that sets them back. It's a 3-for-2 because they already pitched, and it sets them back the land. All right, that's fine. All right, that makes this Sylvan Library feel pretty good for next turn. I don't regret that exchange. Even if they waste me now, I have 2 green sources. I can jam the library. They could play Hooting Mandrills. No, they're 1 short. Never mind. All right. All right, so this certainly looks like Rug Delver. And Force of Negation is not generally a card that's in combo decks because they want to be able to interact on their own turn, not on your turn. Daze also. Daze can be in Show and Tell, but I don't think that's what's going on here. That looks like Delver to me. All right, Cavern on Human. All right, do you have more counter spells? It has to be another force, which will give me another 2-for-1, but I would much rather just have Sylvan Library in play. All right, deal. My hand kind of sucks, though. After that exciting first exchange, things didn't really improve, but that's what library's for. I made that early exchange in order to make room for this library, and now the library's here. It has to win the game. Oh, this looks like Dreadhorde Arcanist. Yep. We both have our libraries in play now. Shit. I'm just gonna have to take it. Is what it is. Ooh, your life total can't change. Can I pay life if my life total can't change? I don't think so. Like if I Teferi's protection in response to this trigger, I don't think I can just pay 8. I think I'm not allowed to pay at all, is how that actually works. Maybe I'm supposed to protection there. Try to protect my land, but I have so many lands. Yeah, I think protection is going to be more useful as fog than as stifle in this matchup. I have the backup cavern. If I didn't have a backup cavern, I may have protected there. And like small order of sequencing, if they wasteland first main, then they haven't seen the cards off their preordain yet. Like, what if they don't want a wasteland? Also, that gives me the window to, like, if I protection to save my land from wasteland, then I also don't take this damage. So I think saving the waste for second main is just way better there, unless they're expecting some sort of flash human to come in and ambush their Dreadhorde Arcanist. Oh, they're just going for the face. All right, well, I'm not gonna protection that. Lethal Vapors and Grand Abolisher. Do I have a line to my combo? I've done no ramping, which is the real problem here. So, if I pay life, I'm in trouble. All right, I have a plan. I'm gonna put Lethal Vapors on top. If I pay for life, I go to 3. I can't Cabal Therapy Lightning Bolt and play Teferi's Protection. Wait, yes, that's exactly what I can do. All right, I'm all in here. So I'm going to name Lightning Bolt on this. If they force this, that could be some trouble. If they have force, I also lose. But I'm dead to a lot of stuff here. I have to thread a needle. Oh, they had force. Okay. They had force, blue card, and lightning bolt, all of it. So I am just dead. All right, you got me. Wait, do you got me? Yep. All right, yeah, you got me. Fine. Rug Delver. There it is. All right, so a plan from last round I kind of liked. So I went skinnier on my combo and still ended up comboing. I did cut a Veil of Summer during that last one. Or I cut Thoughtseize. And Veil of Summer was the card I cut last time, but then we got to that position where Veil, like top decking Veil or Abolisher, was my best way out of that game. I think Veil is still the worst card here. Assuming that we want to keep in even a little bit of the combo. Veil is the worst card. I think Lethal Vapors is actually the worst card, but I'm here to be a Teferi Vacation deck. Yup. So I'm going to jam the Veteran Explorer, because if they force it, I'll take the 2-for-1, and if they don't force it, I get to go completely bananas next turn. And this way I'm at least playing around days. Like, they have to have force of will. This Graveyard Hate also works. Dies. Oh no, this one doesn't matter. Just Rector. This one, when it dies, it triggers, whether it is in the graveyard when it resolves or not. The Stifle could also be a pretty big beating here. Let's just hope they don't have it. All right, looks like we're doing it. So green, I think I just want green, green, and just go straight for the head with this Ceratops. Bang. All right, you're on a 4-turn clock starting right now. I think. Haste. They asked how my Shardless Agent Falky League went. It was good. That video is up on the channel, available to watch. Anyone at all can watch it. My opponent here can go watch it. You at home can go watch it. All right, so now I have Veil of Summer with Sylvan Library backup. I did go kind of all in here on the dinosaur, but that's why it's in the deck, because it's very hard to answer. They have to have double bolt here to clear out the dino, and then I can follow up with Sylvan Library with Veil backup. Oh, they do have Tarmogoyf in their deck. Good to know. It's not in all the decks anymore. Ram. I don't think they're going to block, but if they do, I can give it trample. Just keep pushing damage. Yeah, didn't think so. There's already lands in the graveyard, so I'm not losing anything by going for this. If they win this counter war, like if they have Force of Will and a second Force of Will, like if they have double force here, then that does put an enchantment in the graveyard, which isn't great for me, but this Veil of Summer should be pretty brutal. Nice, all right. All right, so that's in, and I remain the largest dinosaur in the battlefield for now. Fetching and casting an instant. Tarmogoyf didn't have an instant, so it did just get a little bigger. If they cast a sorcery this turn, Goyf can trade with Ceratops. And drawing Splendor kind of sucks too, because now if I draw Rector, that's not a thing I can get. Please attack. Alright, they didn't attack. Okay, so at this point it would have to be a 2-for-1. Like they would have to block and bolt. Okay, so don't want another Sylvan Library. It's not a legend and they do stack. Like I would get to see an extra card, I think. Oh, if I pay life, I see extra cards. I'm gonna pay for this. So I can trophy the Goyf, or I can just play Grand Abolisher. If I trophy Goyf, yeah, if I trophy Goyf, I don't lose this to Lightning Bolt. Like if I play Abolisher, they can Lightning Bolt Ceratops in response. And then I still don't have an attack this turn. So I'm gonna keep pushing my damage. Alright, nice. It's just dead. Alright, you're at 3. If I hadn't gotten double green off this Veteran Explorer, I would have been able to Abolisher and trophy this turn, but I would also be 5 damage behind on the clock. So I still think it was right, but that did end up mattering later, affect what spells I could cast later. So now we get into the level game. Like, do I want Fairy Macabre to exile any enchantments or sorceries when Tarmogoyf goes to battle, shifting Ceratops? I'm pretty sure the answer is no. Is this a City of Solitude matchup? Like, that is just another Abolisher that I could play, but I've already cut a Veil of Summer, which is a similar effect. And I guess if I have City of Solitude in play, I can't give Ceratops Reach, because you can only play spells and abilities on your own turn. So Reach actually is what won me last round, so That's not going to happen. Veil of Summer has been really strong, though, in this matchup. All right. On the draw, I'm not messing around. There is still a Lethal Vapors in the deck to search for. Sorry, Magic Gods. Nick Fit Gods. I do want to present my best deck I can. Yeah, this looks pretty good to me. So I can Cavern Veteran Explorer on turn 1, and then I can sack it, get a bunch of shit on turn 2, and cast Sylvan Library with Veil of Summer backup. Human. I hope they're just looking at this with a handful of forces and dazes. Can't submerge it, don't have any forests. This is the same line I started with last game, the turn 1 Veteran Explorer. If I draw a dinosaur, okay, they're doing the Rich Cali brainstorm here. End step looking for a 2-drop. So they either have Dreadhorde Arcanist and we're looking for the land, or they didn't have it and we're looking for it. So this mana doesn't cast Dreadhorde Arcanist. All right, going for the waste. All right, if they have Stifle, that sucks. But if they don't have Stifle, that's great. All right, don't stifle me, for fuck's sake. We haven't seen a Stifle yet. All right, they still don't have it. All right, I'm gonna get green, so I can Sylvan Library with backup, or just cast 2 Sylvan Libraries. I have 3 of them in my hand. I probably want to lead on Veil, because I can play around Daze if I Veil, and I'm playing into Daze if I just play a second library. All right, once again, Veil of Summer, your turn 2 Force of Will. I think that happened all 3 games. All right, this feels pretty good now. If they have another Wasteland to pick off my tower, that's going to slow me down a lot, but this Explorer plus Library, all right, they did have the second Wasteland. It's probably fine, though. I do have Library active. And wasting here would set them back pretty far. It's a calculation right now. Do they think that wasting me hurts me more than it hurts them? All right, so finding an Abrupt Decay here would be pretty great. Veil of Summer and Splendor. Splendor goes on top, and I'll keep the Veil. Then, so I'll play this. Veteran Explorer, do you have a force? Nope, all right. Pop you. I think I want to get white here. I'm gonna get white for the Abolisher. And then I can play a second Sylvan Library. Oh, I can draw 2 with first Sylvan Library, put them back, shuffle, and then draw 2 with the second one. I don't think I've ever had 2 Sylvan Libraries in play at the same time. Like, I could have played the third here, but I actually just think having the fetch land up is going to be way better. And having Veil up on their turn. I'm not sure why that would matter. I guess if they play Oko, that would slow them down from elking my Abolisher. But even that only matters if they fill their hand up with counterspells, because it's clear they didn't have them this past turn. I could also just go to 0 and draw 5 cards. I don't recommend it. But having protection already in hand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. I actually win if I find. I guess they have the Wasteland that can slow me down a lot, but if they don't waste me and I untap with Grand Abolisher, I win if I find Rector. Just have the combo. This card is good. This has really taken the power level and consistency of this deck up several clicks from the first time I played it. All right, now they got to figure out what to do here. It's like Hall Breacher is a card they could have. I don't think they're going to. Just saying, could happen. If they go for Oko and Elking my Abolisher, I will try to veil it because Abolisher just is such a big deal. All right, just brainstorming. Lightning Bolt is a much better answer to Abolisher than Oko. Because even if they do successfully Elk this thing, they're at 13. I could just crack them a few times. All right, they fetch that pretty quick. I smell a Lightning Bolt in my future. Nope, Dreadhorde Arcanist. All right, so it is Academy Rector for the win right now. All right, use the first one. All right, put on top, fetch. I'm gonna get Bayou. Because if they're gonna waste something, I kind of prefer they leave me with the tower. All right, didn't find everything I was looking for here. Oh, and I can still put back Therapy because it's a card I drew this turn. That's pretty messed up. Okay, I don't need 2 protections. And I actually don't want Deed here either. Deed's pretty bad for me. This did not go well. I am going to pay 4 life to keep something around though. All right, let's see if they want to block. All right, Fearless. I respect it. All right, Cabal Therapy. Do I even Therapy right now, or do I save it for when I have something that I really care about? I guess I can at least put the Deed into play. Yeah, that's not even good, but it's in play. And I should save the... Ooh, I actually have a combo here. I can activate Deed in response to Fairy's Protection and wipe out their board and keep mine. Okay, that's a line to stay aware of. One, two, three, four, five, six. Yeah, I can Deed for up to 3. Probably 2 once they waste me. Kind of hope they do cast a blue card this turn because I would like to Veil of Summer just to start getting through the top of my deck. I guess they're gonna brainstorm with this Arcanist at the very least. So now I can decide. I think this Deed play is going to be a lot more beneficial to me. I just hope they add more permanents to the board right now. I guess I should specify other than Oko. Just play like 3 Delvers right now, 2 Delvers and a Tarmogoyf. Just unload on me. I'm only seeing 1 new card. I didn't find another shuffle effect in between these libraries last turn. All right, my Bayou, no. All right, play 3 Delvers. If they're going to bolt this, they have to do it on their turn. That's just how that card works. I guess with Abolisher, I might as well fire off the Veil as a cantrip because mostly doesn't matter. All right, so if they want to Elk Abolisher, what does that do? Oh, they're just making food. Okay. All right, so I am going to Veil to draw a card. Then I get to... Oh, I drew Rector. Where did this Rector come from? Did I shuffle? What happened? I feel like I shouldn't be seeing that yet. All right, put this on top. And, okay, do I win right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I'm 1 mana short. And I can still Sandworm Convergence, which is probably good enough. This is the same 2 cards I just put back, right? Yeah, okay. Top, top. All right, so I can attack for 2, then Sandworm Convergence and Cabal Therapy. All right, attack them. One, 2, 3, 4. And this gives me a shuffle as well. Yes. Yeah, sucks I'm 1 white mana short. Like that Wasteland popped off, I would be able to combo here. Pretty sure I just want Convergence. I'm gonna name Lightning Bolt on this. Two Brainstorms, a Delver, and a Goyf. Okay, so they actually could have dumped out all of that insane amount of stuff last turn. Yeah, I'm just gonna... So I can pop Deed for 1 right now, which removes their food, which is 1 less attacker they could present. And that doesn't affect me at all. It does take off my Deed destroying everything plan for next turn. I actually think I can Deed for 0 on their turn. I don't need to make this decision right now. Okay. Oh, but then I kill my own 5/5. All right, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I still think the protection Deed combo is fucking sweet. So if they find Lightning Bolt here, if they find Bolt Bolt, they can Bolt Bolt Bolt, and I block Dreadhorde Arcanist, and oh, this has Trample. Oh my god, the Trample actually matters. Wow. Okay. Let's just hope they don't find 2 bolts in their top 3 cards here. That's all I gotta ask for. Hopefully they're in defense mode over there with their food. Like if they think that gaining 3 life is gonna be worth more. I don't know. This is scary. Tarmogoyf is not a 0/1. That's a display bug. Tarmogoyf's power and toughness are true in any zone. They could trade for my Abolisher, but I don't think that matters because I don't really cast instants. Alright, so assuming I get another turn, my plan is to attack for 5, then end step Convergence trigger. After the trigger, I'm gonna deed for 2 and then protection in response. Because tokens phasing out, they're just treated like they're not in play. I'm pretty sure tokens can phase back in and out. I think so. I don't know. We'll find out together. Or maybe having one in play is better than not having one in play. Maybe I'll leave one of my sandworms in play. All right, they've elked my worm. That's good. That means this isn't attacking for 3. Okay, bolting my worm is also fine. That means that bolt's not pointed at my face. If they had the 2 bolts to go after my face, they would. So now they can go after Abolisher also. All right, this makes sense. I like this play. All right, now I can just deed and let Sandworm Convergence win the game. Put on top, put on top, and I'm not going to activate that. All right, I mean, did you find a force? They're going to look for one. The deed might have just been smarter, but too much of a banger. Get in, resolve, resolve. All right, so they had an answer to that. Force pitching days. Okay. That's not a huge deal. All right, I still think just making a 5/5 is gonna do more for me than deeding their food away. Now this is just Sensei's top. They can't pay life anymore. They can eat their food, but they didn't do that. Hope they don't have Brazen Borrower. That's not really common in Rug Delver anymore, but it is a card they could have. I guess if there's an emergency, I can sack my worm to Phyrexian Tower and blow deed for 2. Yeah, that's actually fine. Though knowing that they have the second wave here, the Delver and Tarmogoyf just hanging out in their hand, is a little bit scary. Like, it makes me want to hold on to the deed as long as possible. All right, elked this again. Do you have another lightning bolt again? Chain lightning. Okay, so I think I actually do want to do the deed now. Do the deed. All right. All right, this kills Dreadhorde Arcanist, the food, and their Sylvan Library. It leaves Sandworm Convergence in play. Oko already activated this turn. So Convergence versus Oko. They get to play this. Oh, do they have a land for Tarmogoyf too? Delver is worse than Tarmogoyf by a lot. All right, follow-up library. I'm going to school. All right, so if Delver flips, it just can't attack because of Convergence. aggro Brainstorm to flip Delver, but nope. The third Sylvan Library, there were 3 in my hand. I kept one with 2, then drew the third immediately, and here on turn 7, the third Sylvan Library is becoming relevant. Alright, glad that flipped. Don't have to worry about it now. Creatures with flying can't attack you. Alright, they want to get into an elk race with my worms. That's fine. Tarmogoyf is a big one though I will have enough worms to double block it in the near future. And they are in top deck mode. This Ponder, I mean, your last card in hand is Ponder, you're never really in top deck mode, but they're very close, and I am pretty far ahead here. They chose to shuffle, so they are in top deck mode. Put on top, put on top. Got a shuffle here. I don't have an attack. I have double Teferi's protection. If I get scared of anything, I can just run and hide. Arcanist. Alright, not bad. Maybe I should have fetched while they were tapped out, just to make sure I don't get stifled. Though I think if they were going to stifle something at this point in the game, it would be a Sandworm trigger. Alright, I'll get Bayou so I have double black. Explorer. Trophy, okay. Top. Top. If I trophy... See, they've a Chain Lightning in the graveyard. What am I most afraid of here? It's probably... Oh wait, if I trophy Tarmogoyf and just attack, that's a pretty big deal. Yeah, let's get this game over. So they trade Delver for one of them because Delver can't do anything anyway, and then they can go to 1. And then they have to decide if they want to elk my 5/5s moving forward or eat their foods, but they both represent a comparable amount of life. Alright, you're at 1. Alright, this feels pretty good. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and I can sack a worm to play the second protection if the first one fails, if I somehow need them both. This game's been great. This deck has a lot of play to it. Keep in mind that, remember like 5 turns ago I could have comboed if they hadn't wasted the 1 land, so like all of this is like plan C at this point, and Teferi's protection is just in straight up fog mode, as Richard Garfield intended. Just making sure I don't lose. Alright, so they can attack this worm, attack and Chain Lightning this worm if they want to. They could also Chain Lightning me. They could also just spew it on a cantrip. I don't think the Elk plus Bolt your worm plan is that great. I probably had, like, Teferi's protection was probably lethal there, but I just feel like it's going to be hard to lose regardless. Okay. Top and top. And I will attack my opponent. They have to block. Unless they have another bolt, which I'm also fine with. Because then I just get to jam this Pernicious Deed. Alright, so Oh no, I can't Teferi's Protection now because all my lands would go with it. Alright, never mind. Alright, black, green, colorless. Alright, fuck the Sylvan Library, it's not helping anyway. I'm just gonna blow this now before my worm comes into play. They're hellbent at 1 life. And like, I guess Tarmogoyf is their best draw. But even that dies over 2 turns when I have the second attacker. And did they draw another bolt just to stay alive? Wish I had double red to throw any of these chain lightnings back at them. Yeah, these worms have successfully converged, as far as I'm concerned. I'll leave this lethal attacker in play instead of sacking it for its ability. So now I have 2 lethal attackers to their top deck mode, backed up by Teferi's Protection. I don't think I'm even going to need these. GG's, genuinely. That was a great game. All right, 3-1. Headed into the final round. Right, I'm on the play in this last round. I have Rector Cavern. I mean, I'll keep this. Just the power level of an uncounterable Academy Rector has been so crushing that I'm willing to take a little bit of a gamble on this hand that doesn't interact early. If it turns out we're against, Belcher, we're dead. Whatever. But any sort of deck that wants to play a game that's going to go 4 turns, I like this hand against. Ancient Tomb, please. Please play Ancient Tomb. Or please play Chalice. Alright. I have Chalice covered. They already had Ancient Tomb in play. Okay, so this deck looks like it's going to be very bad against Pernicious Deed. There's the sack outlet. Alright, so now we have turn 3 Deed for 0. That seems like it would be really good. And then turn 4, win the game. Oh, I guess it would be turn 5, because they have to get Rector into play, then sack her. Alright, that's fine. So is this Urza? Alright, so I think I just want to float. Oh, drawing that was even better. Now I don't have to expose my cavern to wasteland or anything. Double black or double green? What's more important here? Honestly, neither, but I do have Phyrexian Towers, so I'll get green. Yes, indeed. I don't oh, maybe I should have gotten a dual land, because I don't actually have white mana for Teferi's Protection. Like, if they did something that would encourage me to want protection up, I'm not really sure what that would be, but if they are some sort of combo deck, though, if they're Echo combo, Teferi's Protection doesn't phase out your hand, so that doesn't really matter. What is happening? Okay, it is Urza. That's fine. So they get Urza. Pernicious Deed can destroy the Construct and the Chalice. Let's see where this goes. Cabal Therapy was a good draw. Or, no, I can just fucking Deed for 4. Alright. Cavern on Human. Yeah, let's just destroy all this stuff. Yeah, that's better. Alright, see you later, Urza. And Construct and Chalice. Now next turn I can Therapy plus go for Rector. All right, backup Urza is fine. Yeah, I think Therapy is better than Tower. Unless we get echoed right now, then we don't really know what's going on. Is this Emery? Oh, it's Chalice. Okay. So now my thoughts on Cabal Therapy are irrelevant. And Thoughtseize. I'm 1 mana short of comboing. Also, they could have counter spells over there. Yeah, I'm just going to get Overwhelming Splendor. I could get Pernicious Deed, bop it for 0, and shred their hand, but that seems so much worse than Splendor. Yeah, getting Vapors to set up for next turn doesn't make sense. I feel like this deck can overpower Sandworm Convergence. Yeah, I'm just going to get Splendor. Enjoy your 1/1s. Creatures. All right, yeah, this still has its abilities, unfortunately. All right, so now I have to beat these two creatures, and I don't have white mana. All right, another 1/1. Yeah, so now I need another Rector or some way to jump ahead here. A second Deed would shut it down. This is actually tough. Them having that second Chalice, so I couldn't check their hand and clear stuff out. This is super shitty. And now I have this handful of 1-drops and no white mana. So Overwhelming Splendor is going to have to go coast to coast here. Pernicious Deed, my best draw. Another 1/1, but a 1/1 scary here. All right, that one I can cast. Because it is, in fact, a human. So I can pop this at my leisure for more basics. I can get the Teferi's Protection online. But also just trade with Urza here. I think I want to trade with Construct and not Urza, actually. Because Urza is a legend, and I don't want to turn on any cards that are in their hand. I suspect their deck has basics in it, though. I may have just given them Karn. I mean, they already had Karn, but gotten them closer to going off with Karn. I need a white and a black if I want to win with a top decked Lethal Vapors. Abolisher, alright. That is the biggest creature in play. By a lot. Get in there. Alright, now I've stabilized the board. Just have to beat their hand. Teferi's Protection hopefully will help with that. I just packed it up. Grand Abolisher, towering above the battlefield. Alright, so Curse of Death's Hold. Is that something I want? Mindbreak Trap is probably something I want. I assume the Echo combo's got to be in their deck. Like, they're not just value Urza, I don't think. And I want all these removal spells. So if these cards are coming in, I think this is right. Sorry, combo. But we're playing for 4/1. This is real time. Pernicious Deed, very good. That was the best deed I've activated in probably 10 years in that game. I don't think I want the Ceratopses in this matchup. though maybe I do. Though I feel like going in on Rector is going to do a lot of the same work. Thoughtseize seems important. Sylvan Library seems important. All right, I'm going to go down to the 1 Vapors package. We did this in one other game, and I'm not going to cut it completely, but I will get much lower on it. And it's Veil of Summer, Thoughtseize, or Sylvan Library are the things I'm looking at trimming here. I think it's actually going to be Veil. Yeah, because Library is a card I can play over Chalice, and Thoughtseize is proactive rather than reactive, and I feel like against another combo deck we have to be as proactive as we can. So, alright, this is my plan. I'm actually impressed how well last game lined up. I think they made a pretty big mistake playing Urza into the Deed when I was untapping into 4 mana and just wiping it all. Though they did have a backup Urza, so maybe it's fine. They figured they'd have to pop the Deed eventually. But that one was close. So this hand, I have Sylvan Library. I'm not super excited about this. Basically, Library is the only thing it has going for it. This will depend entirely on their hand. Like if they kept a hand that's like reactive and has like Chalice of the Voids and stuff, this hand is fine. If they're gonna turn 1 Echo us, this hand is bad. I'm gonna keep it. Fuck it. We got a lot of basic lands, ignores Chalice, so I'm gonna run with this actually. Alright, they didn't have turn 1 Chalice. Alright, rewarded. I'm gonna lead on the plains in case I draw Cavern of Souls. I'd rather get Abolisher into play first to make sure my library resolves. All I give up here is that I'm not bluffing Veil of Summer. But I don't have Veil of Summer, so I don't want them to think that I do in case I draw it later. But I do have Grand Abolisher, so alright. This way they might respect Swords to Plowshares. Baleful Strix has never respected Swords to Plowshares in its life, so that lined up well. Alright. Sylvan Library, let's go. If they have Force, this is a great thing to force. Unless they are the Hull Breacher deck, which they probably are, which they can probably just ignore this. Just jam a main phase Hull Breacher here and make me real sad. Oh, I'm actually relieved to see Oko over Hull Breacher, believe it or not. It's interesting they made food instead of making this a 3-3 and starting their heavier beatdown right away. Right, I don't need a third Rector. That's pretty good though. Put this on top, and I guess I have to start paying life to get through this stuff. None of that's really what I wanted to see. Another white source would have been great. So now I'm playing Rector next turn. Oh no, they have Oko, and they can not only elk it, but trade for it. So I have to wait a turn on the Rector. Yeah, this hand sucks. Like not having materialized anything else. No bueno. Oh, they're firing off a Chalice on 0. That's bold in their deck with Mishra's Bauble. Okay, they can just make an elk immediately. Nope, nope, that was great play. I take it all back. Yeah, Oko does mitigate that. I have not played Oko in my forays with this deck before. Alright, put on top, put on top. Want to get this shuffle on. Alright, so I think I want scrubland. Yeah, that makes double black and double white. Alright, I'll play Grand Abolisher. They can elk it or steal it. I don't even care if they steal it. They're on a super fair draw over here. Oh wow, they're just... Oh, I guess it's now or never on a Force of Will with that. Sure. Alright, let's see. How dead am I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm at 4. Or 5. 4? 4. Yep, 4. That's another 2. So I'm very dead on board. How many of these can fly? Many of them. And the ones that can fly can just become elked instead. Alright, yeah, I don't even know what I'm looking for at this point. Pernicious Deed is the answer. But even if I have Deed... Alright, I found Abrupt Decay. Does that do anything? Probably not at this point. Top. You see if Rector resolves. Okay, what does this do? It's in, now what? Curse of Death holds in the sideboard. So I can get Sandworm Convergence, and then they have 1, 2, 3 attackers on the ground, so I'm still dead to that. I can get Pernicious Deed, pop it for 2. That's actually might be the play, as much as it sucks. Alright, so that's going to be the play. So I'm going to have to pop my Rector using this 2 mana, then Deed for 2, just to stay alive. And then the next Rector, next turn, has to get the Sandworm Convergence and stabilize. Alright, don't have Graveyard Hate. Alright, Pernicious Deed. Alright, that resolves. Alright, so they can draw some cards with... Oh, they didn't draw any cards with Sai, that's interesting. Alright, let's see if that was good enough. Did I find the line? Or is it too late? If they just have Force of Will in hand, it's probably too late. Urza is probably also too late. Have 3 spells been cast this turn? Nope. I think literally 1 spell has been cast this turn. Okay, so I can actually Abrupt Decay the construct. I can Abrupt Decay something in addition to all these other spells. So I have to leave a green available. 1, 2, 3, 4. Backup Rector. Sack you. Yes. So I want to get Sandworm Convergence now. Right, Sandworm Convergence, and do I destroy Oko? Yeah. I destroy Oko. And now I'm at 1. Yeah, so I block the construct, I go to 1. This has been crazy. Being at 1 against all of these Thopters. I guess Sandward Convergence checks the Thopters. So I can draw a bunch of cards, though. Oh, do you have a second Oko? Oh, no, you're just spinning Urza. Oh, you have Karn. That's also terrifying. They've played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, if they just go for Lattice this turn, I can Mind Break Trap it. Yeah, they do have 6 mana. So hopefully they just go for Lattice. Though they could go for like Walking Ballista and just kill me too. Thopter Foundry. All right, that's a good one. Literally whatever they get is getting trapped though. Okay, now that's too big. So unfortunately I have Vapors in hand. If I draw Teferi's Teferi's Protection, I win. Veil of Summer. Do you help? So I can get Deed again. Yeah, so I can get Deed again. Pop it for 3. That leaves Urza behind, but it kills Sai and all this other shit. The game is afoot. Maybe I did need all 3 Rectors earlier when I said I don't need 3 Rectors. I lied. Alright, Overwhelming Splendor, not good enough here. I'll get the Deed. Number 3. Alright, I am at 2. If there's a Walking Ballista in their sideboard, I lose. There probably is. That's a pretty standard card to have. Yeah, okay. You got me. Well played. That was an exciting game. Considering I didn't do anything until turn 5, I feel like that game shouldn't have gone like that. I definitely want Curse of Deathhold in here, though. The Splendor plus Hold Lock is going to be important here. We also got weirdly close to comboing. We did see Force of Will that game. I'm going to cut a Thoughtseize and bring in the Curse. Do I want the Ceratopses? They can pressure Planeswalkers in a kind of meaningful way. Maybe I want more of the combo now that I know that there's just like the full Oko deck as well as everything else that's going on. Now I still think an early Giant Enchantment is going to be good. I was just way too slow that game. And by way too slow, I mean slightly too slow because it was fucking close. This is so close. Trade any of these cards at random for a green source, I would keep it. This not great, but I'll keep. Maybe I don't want Mind Break Trap anymore because they seem to be a pretty fair deck. Alright, I can't cast this Veil of Summer anyway. This hand is really awkward. Alright, they're on 5. So what do I name with Cabal Therapy? Do I just name Urza, or do I name Oko? It's Urza or Oko. I'm gonna name Urza. They had neither of those things. Okay. Yeah, they have Mishra's Bauble, Baleful Strix, Uro. Alright, yeah, my hand needs a lot of help here. I don't think I wanted to go to 5. Misty Rainforest. Yeah, they targeted themselves with Bobble. Build your own. Scry one. Veteran Explorer is probably my best draw right now. I'll take a Thoughtseize though. I want to take Baleful Strix because taking Uro is not really what you want to be doing. I'm just going to get my Cavern on Human into play. It sucks that this deck has no way to make double blue to cast a fair Mindbreak Trap. Like in the mid game, if I just pay 4 mana to exile Uro, that would be worth doing. Let's see if they want a Lotus Petal to power out Uro a turn early. I think that play's actually like pretty good. So I need a green source. So I can trap this thing. There's you right on time. I'll name Oko this time. Sigh. Okay. Just a different card I can't beat. The good news is they don't have blue, blue, green, green for Uro. Yeah, that doesn't cast Uro. Why did you top deck Urza? Come on. Give me a break. Alright, this game looks like it's not going where I need it to. That was basically the worst draw in the entire deck. The best draw was Veteran Explorer. I had a couple turns to draw Veteran Explorer, pop off my Cabal Therapy, and GG. Now I'm gonna get buried by this Urza. Any artifact they have is worth 2 mana now because of Urza plus Psy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They can flip with Urza, or they can just attack for 4. And they can Uro next turn. Alright, yep, I'm dead. Didn't come together. Speculative hand. Needed a payoff. Had the setup, but not the payoff. So this league went pretty well, actually. All things considered, how like janky this deck looks. We did combo off a number of times. We did the Nick Fit thing a couple times. Lost playing for 4-1. And if you'll recall, the round 1 loss was my opponent runnered perfect top decks in a row to get out of it. I mean, that's magic. I'm not complaining, but just saying there's plenty of parallel universes where we 4-1 to this league pretty easily. That last round was the only one that we were never in. And we had a lot of really great games in between. So this version of this deck feels pretty good. I think City of Solitude should get cut. I'll figure out something else for that. And I mean, the mana might need some work. Maybe 4 is too many Cavern of Souls, but Cavern was really good in most of the games. It just like sucked in that one last game, particularly that it wasn't an actual natural green source. But there's might be some fiddling with the number of caverns we play. But City of Solitude was the only card that really didn't pull its weight here. And otherwise, this deck is a lot of fun. If you try it, if you have any ideas for it, let me know. I might play a 4th Grand Abolisher. That card was so good. Anyway, if you put any work into this deck, let me know. Let me know how it goes. Ship me your list. Let's talk about it in the comments. So like, comment, subscribe. See you next time. Thanks for watching.